Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving right into what is literally one of the most unhinged and historically significant soccer matches we've seen in recent memory. The date was June 11, 2026. The stage? The legendary Estadio Azteca down in Mexico City. The event was a Group A World Cup clash between Mexico and South Africa. And let me tell you, it had massive stakes and a level of sheer, unadulterated drama that left millions of fans completely speechless.
I mean, just listen to this reaction. 3 red cards in the World Cup opener. That right there perfectly captures the global mood the absolute second the final whistle blew. When you tune into a tournament opener, you expect some nerves, right? Maybe a cautious, tight tactical battle. You definitely do not expect a total meltdown of discipline and pure chaos right out of the gate.
Okay, let's dive into this. How exactly did this highly anticipated match descend into absolute madness? To truly grasp what went down at the Azteca, we can't just glance at that final scoreline of 2-0. We need to break down the timeline, the tactical unraveling caused by those red cards, the intense pressure, and the bizarre sequence of events that transformed a pretty standard soccer match into a completely chaotic spectacle. We're going to look at the numbers, the history, and the deeply personal player stories that define this wild night.
Now, you might be wondering where the chaos really stems from, and it all comes back to one single staggering number: 3. 3 red cards in a single opening match. To put that into perspective for you, there were actually more ejections in this game than there were goals scored. No way, right? In a tournament where every single player is warned to keep their composure, the referee was forced to reach into his back pocket 3 separate times. This completely upended the tactical plans for both teams. It opened up these massive, exhausting gaps on the pitch and honestly made this one of the most dramatic openers in all of World Cup history.
And this brilliantly illustrates why the pressure cooker was turned up so incredibly high for the home team. They were battling a massive historical curse. Prior to this game, Mexico's record in World Cup opening matches was, well, abysmal. 0 wins, 5 losses, and 2 draws. Just brutal. Yet despite the sheer madness of the 2026 match, they shattered that generational curse with a historic 2-0 victory, finally securing their first ever win to kick off a World Cup.
Let's move to and see how this builds across the 90 minutes. Tracing the action, the fire was lit almost immediately. Just 10 minutes in, boom, Quiñones finds the back of the net. Before the first half even concludes, discipline just crumbles, and South Africa is reduced to 10 men. As we push into the second half, Quiñones secures the victory with a crucial second goal. But the drama wasn't over, oh no, because in the final minutes, Mexico's Cesar Montes is shown red, evening out the chaotic battlefield at 10 men aside.
Because really, this wasn't just a game. It was a total track meet with massive consequences. The breakneck pace established by Quiñones at the 10-minute mark gave us the earliest goal of the entire tournament so far. That early strike blew the game completely wide open. South Africa, obviously desperate to equalize, pushes way too hard and loses a player early on. Now you'd think Mexico would just cruise from there and effortlessly exploit their numerical advantage, right? Actually, scratch that. The intensity boils over again later, and Cesar Montes gets sent off, leaving Mexico with 10 men as well. It was an absolute roller coaster of tactical shifts and huge momentum swings.
But, amidst all that frantic pacing, the fouls, the ejections, the second half delivered a profoundly human moment that literally brought the entire Azteca Stadium to its feet. That second goal belonged to Raúl Jiménez. His goal wasn't just some insurance point to make it 2-0, it was a deeply emotional release. When you watch the celebration of that specific goal, you were seeing years of struggle, doubt, and pure determination just pouring out on the biggest stage in global sports.
So the crucial point is what this goal actually represented. For Raúl Jiménez, this was the ultimate comeback story. We are talking about a guy returning to score on the global World Cup stage after suffering and miraculously recovering from a famously severe head injury. His career, and honestly his life, had been on the line. And yet, there he was, right in the middle of this wildly chaotic opening match, cementing his team's historic victory and completing a deeply personal triumph that really transcends the sport itself.
Which leaves us with a massive question going forward. Mexico survived the red cards, they broke that generational opening match curse with a 2-0 win, and they got to witness an incredibly emotional return for their star forward. But guys, this is just the beginning of Group A. With the opening curse shattered amidst absolute chaos at the Azteca, what new dramatic history will Mexico write in the rest of the 2026 World Cup? Are they going to harness this chaotic energy, or is it going to consume them? Thank you so much for joining me on today's Explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what happens next on the pitch.